Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Oriel Morrison-Higgins and I'm joined today by Julian Woodcock, the Managing Director of Viking Mines. Always good to see you, Julian. How are you doing?
Hi Oriel, same. It's always good to see you too. And great, thank you.
Now you've got some good news out. You've just sold your first HIP gold project for around 5 million. Tell us about the timing and what this means for Viking.
Yes, so as you mentioned, the deal value is around $5 million. What that looks like is 1.2 in cash upfront plus $1 million of shares in First AU, the company that's buying the project. And then the balance, $2.8 million in performance rights on future success, growth of resource, etc. This really brings us the opportunity to bolster our cash balances, help fund and maintain our focus on our flagship Linka project in the USA.
So the fact that you're keeping the shares in First AU and also the performance rights, which of course are tied to discovery milestones, going forward, what does this actually mean for your shareholders now?
Look, it means we've still got continued exposure to the assets. We believe in the opportunities there. We've had the project for a number of years, but in the last 6 months or so, shareholders will have seen that we've really had this shift in strategic focus to our tungsten projects in the US, and we're firmly backing that commodity and the projects we have there and the benefits that come with operating in America to feeding the critical mineral supply chain. But retaining the stock within First AU as well as the exposure with the performance rights means in the event that they are successful where we've left off, our shareholders still get exposure to future appreciation in the valuation of their company.
Now, you've talked about how this sale really sharpens your focus, and it sharpens it on Linka in Nevada. For investors that haven't necessarily been following the story, can you just remind us briefly why Linka is such an exciting tungsten target?
Yes, well, first and foremost, tungsten is experiencing some very strong tailwinds at the moment. The commodity is appreciated substantially over the last 18 months. Couple that with issues in the US with regards to supply chain, which is compounded by China restricting exports, but also the US from the end of this year imposing a ban on Chinese-sourced tungsten into the defense industry supply chain, really means any tungsten projects coming online in the US have additional benefits being located onshore there. Now, Linka itself was a producing tungsten mine in the early 1950s. It closed on price, not on the geology. The tungsten price collapsed at that time, and that meant that mining ceased. Bit of exploration was conducted in the late 70s, and then nothing really since. And we picked up this project, so a past producing asset, historical data with high-grade intercepts, historical mining grades over 0.5%. And in the last several months, we've embarked on an extensive metallurgical test work program and demonstrated that we can recover the scheelite, which is the tungsten-bearing mineral, into a concentrate. Bringing all that together, we're starting drilling in July, and that commencement of drilling will be the first drilling in 40 years. So it's a huge opportunity for investors to get into probably one of the most rapidly moving ASX tungsten plays.
So obviously drilling there is only just a couple of weeks away. It's an exciting time for you guys.
Very much so, yes. So everything's booked, everything's organised. The rig, as I say, is due to mobilise soon. Our geologists will be heading out there to support the field crews that we have coming in, and the holes are planned and the approvals are in place. So yeah, we expect to be getting the first drill holes in over 40 years into the project and reporting back to the market soon.
How soon? What's the timeline look like?
Look, we expect to be able to provide some indications from the drilling really early because scheelite has a unique property. It fluoresces under a UV light. So as soon as we drill and we start hitting mineralization, we'll be able to flash the UV light over it and get some indications of what the intercepts are looking like in terms of widths. We will have to wait for assays to get a firm grade. And we expect the first assays to be within a couple of months of the drilling commencing.
Fabulous. Excellent. All right, Julian, well, congratulations on the sale and where you're at right now. And we'll be talking to you again very soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Oriel.